Hey. What's up, sweeties? It's Shay again from Sweet Chariot Healing Company, here to give you a little bit more information about quantum entanglements. I did let you know that I was going to be coming back. Here we go with the get back. You know what I'm saying? Getting back with the get back. So, so that I can let y'all know individual details on different types of entanglements. What most people of color, as I've noticed, seem to call generational curses. It's a lot of bases in that term, right? But I want to explain it from a scientific level so that people are understanding how they can use it to heal themselves and to, experience a better life for themselves going forward. So today we're going to do a little bit of discussion about miscarriages. So, one thing that I have to acknowledge, you may have noticed yourself or others who you did not see previously as lethargic, or you could use the term for some people, if you're judgy like that, lazy, or even just those people that you feel like just don't have enough gumption or get up and go, enough stick to itiveness about themselves. That can actually stem from an entanglement from previous generations in your family constellation. So, say someone is always laying on the couch, never want to work or never want to actually create anything, use their life force energy to create something happy and peaceful for themselves, right? One thing that could be attributed to is a miscarriage in a previous generation or in that same generation. I'll give examples. So, say a mother and father, together still or not, we'll address those kind of different entanglements later. But there's a mother and father, and they have a miscarriage first. Then they go on to have a son and a daughter after that. Remember, we talked about the order or the hierarchy of family constellations. So if this is our mom, we'll call her Blondie. And if this is our, no, we're not gonna go with him. I'm so silly. I can't do nothing serious. Okay. And then this is our father. We'll call him Green Man. So we got Blondie and Green Man. And they have a daughter. Okay. Well, they have a miscarriage, and that daughter is not born. She did not get to come to this physical 3D realm. That does not mean that her soul is not in the ethers, still connected to this family constellation. So she is definitely still entangled with the family members. Okay? Because she was not born, she doesn't stand in front of them. They will experience her energy in the ethers as though she's laying here in front of them. That would signify that she has passed on. So just because she's passed on does not mean that you can erase her. She has to be acknowledged. So now, Blondie and Green Man have Cowboy Jim and Rosie Rose in this order. So they have a son first, and then they have Rosie Rose after they have their son. Okay? What happens next is, you might not start early on. You might not notice it early on. Sometimes you will notice it in children at a very young age. Could be until adulthood where it really is. It starts to show that there's an entanglement there, right? So say Cowboy Jim is just always focused on something else. He is always lethargic. He might be addicted to different alcohols or drugs or sexual endeavors. It could be in the form of an addiction as well. But the way you would see it if you were using figures to denote that, he might have his head down, he might be tired and leaning over. If you're having a real constellation therapy session and you have people that are representing and you're having actual bodies with souls, they may experience it in this way. They may be in the constellation and they're slumped over, or they feel dark. There's no light around them in their background. All of these things are what we take into account when we're doing a session, right? If you're using figures, it may be like this. Like I said, he might be leaned over. He might be facing a different direction from the family. Like, I just can't deal, right? There's a lot of different things. But say we know or we represent him and we get the information of, I don't want to do anything. I just don't feel like I should be living this particular life. Or yeah, I feel like I want to get my law degree, but I just can't seem to finish the classes. I try and I just can't finish, right? There's a lot of different ways this could play out. What you will find is that Cowboy Jim is entangled with miscarried. I didn't give her a name, huh? We're going to call her Miss Carrie. How about that? I love this job. Oh, okay. So we're going to call her Miss Carrie, who was miscarried. Okay? So Cowboy Jim is entangled with Miss Carrie. That's who he's focused on. That's who he's looking at. So that's why he's not looking at his finances. That's why he's not looking at his career, his children, his other family members, because his loyalty, and that's what entanglements are. You can boil it down to loyalty to an ancestor, loyalty to another entity in your family, in your family conscious, in your soul dynamic, right? So he's entangled to someone who passed on. So he does not want to live a life any better than, any more prosperous, any longer than this miscarried. So his loyalty says, I'm going to lay right down here next to you because I don't deserve to live a full life because you didn't live a full life. So I'm not going to, I might get sick at a young age. You might experience this as a child with learning disabilities. They come out feeling like, I am loyal to the sibling that you don't acknowledge. And I'm going to show why I feel like they deserved this life that I got to live. So there's so many different ways the miscarriage can play out in entanglements in the future generations or in the same generation with this example. So one thing that would have to happen is the parents, the representatives in the constellation of the parents will need to acknowledge the miscarried. They will need to say that you are our first child and we acknowledge you and we love you. Then also Cowboy Jim and Rosie Rose will have to acknowledge their fallen sibling as well. They would have to say that they give their fate, the sibling that miscarried. We're going to give her her fate and let her go forth that way. She is in the spirit realm, and she would be more unhappy to see her siblings that are in the living realm not live because of her. So she might, before these two even try to acknowledge her and say something, she might say to them energetically, I don't want you to not live because of me. It was my fate to die before coming to that realm. I want you to live and be happy because that makes it okay. That makes it better, as opposed to me just being like, okay, I'm dead and nobody acknowledges me, nobody mentions me. And also, you know, now the future generations are going to be worse off because of something that was already a negative fate for me. So this energy will definitely always want for the future generations or the future siblings in the family constellation to acknowledge them, but then leave them with their own fate. Do not try to accept, try to siphon, try to hold someone's pain or guilt or just their fate, because you want to show in an energetic quantum, in the energetic quantum realm, you want to show how much you love this person, you want to show how much you're loyal to this person, and subconsciously your subconscious is wanting to lay right down and play dead with that fallen person in your family. So make sure that you say these type of healing statements, tap into their energy. You can find a tarot card, a figurine like this. It could be my little, it could be whatever you want to pick, right? But what you're going to do is you're going to let that represent the passed on loved one, the one who had the fate that you are entangled to, right? And you're going to make sure that you say, I acknowledge you as my sister, right? Or I acknowledge you as my first child. I acknowledge you as the firstborn. I also acknowledge that you did not get to come here and live your life to the fullest. I know that that was your fate and not mine. I give you that fate back, and I go on with my own fate, and I go live a happy life. Thank you for allowing me to. Once you share that energy back and forth in the I can't talk today, in the quantum realm with your family, that gives Miscarriage her proper place, right? Okay, so the way that it would be, oh wait, she came first, would be like this, because this is how we're supposed to be. Mother on the left, father on the right, firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn. That's the hierarchy. They are still bigger than them, right? They still have more influence. These are children. So what's taught from here to here is what typically we go forth with. But when you become an adult and you start to realize how much of you and your life is based on something that you didn't create, you didn't get to come up with the beliefs, you didn't get to come up with the ideals, you have to then start analyzing who you are and why. When you start to do that, you're going to notice these entanglements. You might not know where they come from. That's when you come to me. We go through, we pick representatives, whether we're representing just myself and you, and we're using figures, we're using cards. We can use a lot of things, but the quantum energy will step in for us and help us to determine what your issues are. Then we'll go through, have conversations with the different parts of yourself or the different parts of your family constellation and figure out what healing statements need to be said to shift the energy first again in that quantum realm, that 5D energetic space that we're all part of. We're all part of that one consciousness. So when we tap in, we're tapping into everybody's thoughts. We just know how to wrangle them, right? That's why you come to me. Okay? So whatever the issue is, again, it could be so many different things. How you spend your money, how you date, how you eat, what back pain you have and why and where, your lack of hearing, swelling or something in different parts of your body. There are so many different things that we can tap into the quantum realm to figure out what is causing it, what you're entangled to, who you're entangled to that's causing that. Again, I always want to plug the plug. and say that soon my deck will be for sale, even though it's I've been using it on my readings for probably about 2 years now. I'm definitely going to be putting it out for sale very soon. Also, we're going to be doing family constellation exercises where we can like go live together and tap into each other's energy, because I really want people to get an understanding of how the realm, the consciousness that everyone is connected to works, and how it's not just me who can tap in. It's just I've spent so much time researching and figuring out the how, but the 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 fact that I can do it does not make me a magician or anyone more special than you, right? So I just want to make that clear. So be ready for the exercises and stuff like that, so that you all can just really tap in and get this type of energy healing for yourself. But okay, I love my peoples, and my peoples love me. I hope so. Thank you so much, all my sweeties. Please like, share, subscribe. Let your peoples know, because they are peoples. We all peoples. Peoples is peoples. And we all peoples together. All right. I'm done. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.